passing on God's Word.
Read 2 Corinthians 4:1-6 and 2 Corinthians 2:14. What do these passages tell us about the confidence Paul had, despite the challenges he faced in proclaiming the truth of God's Word?
The Apostle Paul faced overwhelming odds in his work of spreading the gospel, yet he had the confidence that God's Word would eventually triumph, for, as he said, we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth to core. 13:8. The reformers faced similar trials, yet, by faith they remained faithful to God's Word, an example of courage in the face of seemingly overwhelming odds is William Tyndale. Tyndale's greatest desire was to give England an accurate, readable translation of the Bible. He determined to translate the Bible from the original languages and correct some of the errors in Wycliffe's translation about 140 years before. Eventually Tyndale, too, was arrested and tried. Many of his Bible translations, which were printed in Worms, Germany, were seized and publicly burned. His trial took place in Belgium in AD 1536. He was condemned on the charge of heresy and sentenced to be burned. His executioners strangled him while they tied him to the stake and then burned his body. His dying words were spoken with zeal in a loud voice and were reported as, "Lord, open the King of England's eyes." God miraculously answered Tyndale's prayer. Within 4 years of his death, 4 English translations of the Bible were published. In 1611, the King James Version of the Bible was printed, and it was largely based on Tyndale's work. To 54 scholars who produced the work drew heavily from Tyndale's earlier English translation. One estimate suggests that the Old Testament of the 1611 King James Bible is 76% Tyndale's translation, and the New Testament is 83%. In 2011, the King James Version of the Bible celebrated its 400th anniversary by passing the milestone of 1 billion Bibles in print. The King James Version has impacted tens of millions of people around the world. Tyndale's sacrifice was well worth it, no matter how difficult it seemed or how challenging the circumstances were. Tyndale and his Bible-believing colleagues trusted that God was working out everything according to His will. Tyndale's life made a difference for eternity.
Read Daniel 12:3 and Revelation 14:13. How do these texts apply to Tyndale's life in a powerful way? Now think about your own life and your impact on others. What encouragement do these texts give regarding the opportunity you have to influence others for eternity?